Keep striving until my lungs can't breathe. They're all tired, I don't know about fatigue. Got my bros back if we come under siege. Got my dogs with me, I ain't carrying a leash. Thank the Lord for my freedom of speech, cause I say what I like and I do what I please. Brothers think I didn't train for this my whole life. Tried to tell them it didn't come with ease. They must have thought that I didn't put in graft. Stayed fully focused and stuck to the task. When it paid off, I was like at last. Them other brothers can kiss my ass. And I promise you that I wouldn't wanna be ya. Them man ain't got this energy, do ya? I cannot feel that vibe going through ya. Flat battery like my dead computer. Told them once and I tell them again. Giving up's not an option, I'll fight to the end. Physical attributes at 10 out of 10. So trying to catch me, I wouldn't recommend. Told them once and I tell them again.
Who could forget when Tyson Fury fought Francis Ngannou right here at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
Looking forward to this one, Todd.
And now it's time for our tale of the tape. First, here comes the Eastern assassin, Larry Holmes, the man that beat Muhammad Ali but never has really gotten his just due. Criminally underrated. Let's see what he's got in store for us in this one. Roy Jones Jr. He won world titles at 4 different weight classes, including...
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Easton, Pennsylvania, here is one of boxing's all-time greats, the heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Easton Assassin, introducing Larry Holmes. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
This is one of those arenas where you have to fight.
Many said this fight would never happen, and yet here it is, and here we go. That right hand hurts. Nice counter shot. Insane action. Nice punch. This fighter in the past go 12 rounds and not have a mark on their face. That's what happens when you stick and move, you hit and you don't get hit.
This is what makes outside fighters so good. Their footwork is second to none. It's as fast as their hands.
The courage on display here is incredible. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
They are giving us a high-tempo show. They exchange punches. Which fighter will say no mas? Beautiful counter shot. Good punch. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Holmes in that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned around?
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Now, don't want you to look. It was, of course.
What do we expect to see here in round 2? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
If you're a counter-puncher, then basically you do the counter-attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think light, concentrate.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Good counter punch. He blocks the hook. Punch caught him clean. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Holmes in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell. On to the third. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
A perfect counter lands. To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? How about that time counter shot? What a blow to the head there. Let's see it again on instant replay.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to me. Are you okay?
They got knocked down but didn't stay down. Once again showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
Look at his corner, look at the instructions. They're telling him to calm down, make the most of the count, get up, breathe, and move. Get behind the referee, save yourself a bit of time. You just need to make your way back to the corner, somehow get to the end of the round.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. Roy Jones in that last round. Well, this is a very important break here for this fighter. They've been knocked down twice. The corner might be thinking about stopping it here.
Unbelievable hop.
On to the fourth we go. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs are feeling like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Misses with the straight left. thing, especially in this division. Nice counter shot. They both want the knockout. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
He parries that left jab away. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Block that jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Holmes in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round. Time for the 5th round. Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
That's another scoring shot. Wasn't ready for that counter punch. You'd like to see more jabs. Beautiful counter punch. In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
That punch scores. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Holmes in that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Wow, you know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
You need to win this round. Get your mind back. Get your focus back.
And there's the bell to start round 6. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Well done with that counter shot. His stamina is off the charts. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
That uppercut just missed. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. That counter shot lands. One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown their shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice counter punch right up the middle. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Larry Holmes is going down and he's got to get up. How about that impact? Let's see that again in slow motion.
I've got to see that again.
Talk about Holmes in that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knockdown.
You've been put down, you've got to think right, survive and then give it back the next round.
Breathe. Just get your breath back.
Round 7, here we go. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A perfect counter shot. Couldn't write a script like this. This is... I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
A shot from the gods took him out.
Not many people would have predicted it, but we've got a knockout victory.
A knockout victory? That's not a knockout victory. That is somebody saying, I'm here, I've arrived. Try that again, it will happen all over again.
I've won many things I've done, but this one here, this one takes the cake. I've won many things I've done, but this one here, this one takes the cake. Compliments on my accomplishments are only possible due to your involvement, volume, level, and confidence. The consequences stimulating your consciousness, activating the cognitive structures. I think all you mother and opposites still play a vital role in my conquering. The combination of confrontation and pondering. Occupation is populating the conference with conversation, no astonishment.
As the sun sets, we welcome you on this beautiful afternoon to Falkor Bay. Alongside me, former world champion Johnny Nelson.
The pleasure's always mine, my friend.
Time for our tale of the tape. Up first is Tyson Fury. He is a whopping 206 centimeters tall with a reach of 216. And they'll be facing Larry Holmes. Watch out for that reach of 206 centimeters. He's also the Gypsy King himself. And here comes the Easton Assassin, Larry Holmes, perhaps one of the most underrated and underappreciated heavyweight champions of all time. He's got plenty of power and one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division.
Look at this. These fights are so up for it. Look at that.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner from Manchester, England, and standing at 6 feet 9 inches, here is a sensational heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Fighting out of the blue corner from Easton, Pennsylvania, here is one of boxing's all-time greats, the heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Easton Assassin, introducing Larry Holmes.
Usually you don't need a weather report for a boxing match, but we certainly do today as we fight. Great to have you with us for this all-action affair. We expect big things, and I don't think we're going to be disappointed. Couldn't land that jab. These punches coming from every angle. A lot of high hopes and aspirations from the fans and media alike as we get set for this main event under the sun.
If you are on the losing side of this fight and the heat is on, it's the worst place to be, so you've got to make sure you prepped right for this. And right now, I'm looking at a fight that doesn't look like they're prepped right.
Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
That punch lands. That jab doesn't score. Counter shot lands. Swing and a miss with the jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Fury in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Here we go, it's round two. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
To beat a counter puncher, you've got to take them out of their pace. Do not wait for them, because if you wait, they'll pepper and pop you all night long. Rush them.
This is a high-octane battle. That hook won't score. Beautiful counter shot. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
A typical outside fighter, as you know, focuses on defense, stick and move, stick and move.
Outside fights create so much unpredictable movement with left to right, box forward, box backwards. You don't know if they're going to attack or defend. Nightmare fighters.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Fury in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Wow, it's like two different...
There's the bell to start round 3. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
It's bombs away. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A perfect counter lands. Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
How about that time counter shot? Defense is not an option for these two. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. Just misses with that jab. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Fury in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's
There's the bell to start round 4. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
So far, the offense has been better than the defense. Catch and shoot. Straight right just misses. That left hook misses. They exchange punches. Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
He threw a punch and just got countered. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Fury in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Needs a knockout without a doubt.
There's the bell for round 5. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. Missing with that jab. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you're thinking, you've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little faggot and pickpocket them.
Halfway through the round, I'm not sure who's winning it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Missing with the hook. This is a battle royale between two heavyweight bombers. Nice job getting that punch through. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Fury in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
As long as they don't get complacent.
There's the bell for round 6. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
This can be so frustrating when you're in such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Good counter punching. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. Swing and a miss with that jab. This is some of the best action I've seen in any round, anywhere this year. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Fury in that last round. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
He's going to be confident. You got to take that. So I like that round.
Here comes round 7. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Nice counter. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
Power. That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Not a lot of defense here at all. There's a scoring blow. Throws the jab, it doesn't score. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Nice defense there, blocking the hook. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about fury in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every...
And there's the bell for round 8. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
They blocked the left there. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Good counter punch. One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get him close.
And he scores with the counter. A perfect counter shot. He misses with that straight left. The courage on display here is incredible. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Missing with the hook. It's all offense all the time. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Some might have thought the fight a little bit closer, but the judges are in agreement. A unanimous decision win.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to learn a big, hard lesson. I totally agree.